Foundations of Corporate Success by John Anderson Kay. The presenters of Group 1 are Robin, Clay, and Umberto. Capabilities for success. There are three types of distinctive capabilities that occur in analysis of the performance of successful companies. These are innovation, architecture, and reputation. Innovation is an obvious source of distinctive capability, but is less than a sustainable or appropriate source because successful innovation quickly attracts imitation. Maintaining an advantage is easily possible for those few innovations for which patent protection is effective. There are others where process secrecy or other characteristics make it difficult for other forms to follow. More often, turning an innovation into a competitive advantage requires the development of a powerful range of supporting strategies. What appears to be competitive advantage derived from innovation is frequently the return to a system of organization capable of producing a series of innovations. This is an example of a second distinctive capability: architecture. Architecture is a system of relationships within the firm, or between the firm and its suppliers and customers, or both. Generally, the system is a complex one and the content of the relationship implicit, rather than explicit. The structure relies on continued mutual commitment to monitor and enforce its terms. A firm with distinctive architecture gains strength from the ability to transfer information which is specific to the firm, product, or market within the organization, and to its customers and suppliers. It can also respond quickly and flexibly to changing circumstances. It has often been through their greater ability to develop such architecture that Japanese firms have established competitive advantage over their American rivals. The third distinctive capability is reputation. Reputation is, in a sense, a type of architecture, but it is so widespread and so important that it is best to treat it as a distinctive source of competitive advantage. Easier to maintain than to create, reputation meets the essential conditions for sustainability. Indeed, an important element of the strategy of many successful firms has been the transformation of an initial distinctive capability based on innovation or architecture to a more enduring one derived from reputation.
It's not enough to just have those three capabilities. In order to take advantage of the capabilities, they must be turned into competitive advantages. The way that you turn the capabilities into competitive advantages is to apply them to an industry and bringing it to a market. Doing that usually involves creating a product and identifying a geographical location. This should be applied to each and every capability. For example, when innovation is achieved, the innovation must be transformed into a product which is marketable to a specific geographic location. Then the organization's architecture should be flexible enough to customize the product for the target audience. Finally, building the product's reputation, which comes from innovation and customized for an audience in a specific geographic location, must have its value be evident to the audience that would make the foundation of a good reputation. BMW's architecture of innovation, which comes from its highly educated German workforce, allows them to customize their cars in order to target affluent young people. Using highly customized strategies for each geographic location, BMW has built a solid reputation for performance. This is a good example of how a corporation should apply its distinct capabilities and transform them into competitive advantages. In Foundations of Corporate Success, John Kay believes that Western corporations are too focused on viewing corporate strategies through a military viewpoint. A military viewpoint is one where victory is achieved by diminishing the enemy's strength while building your own destructive capacity. This does not work in an economic viewpoint because a corporation's success depends on how much value is in a product or service. That value is enhanced through applying a firm's distinctive capabilities to the products and services. This is the reason why for a corporation, bigger is not always better. For a military power, it may make sense to increase the resources it has access to. However, for a corporation, specialization is the key to strength. Being able to do something better, faster, cheaper than your rivals will give the corporation's products and services the competitive advantage it needs to survive. Achieving such specialization is more difficult as a corporation's size increases. The obsession that American corporations have with the military viewpoint is the reason why CEOs of corporations are viewed as generals. Whatever the CEO decides is the way the corporation will move. So it makes sense that because the CEO thinks with a military viewpoint, that the way the company moves, its strategy, is through mergers and acquisitions. In the book, Kay demonstrated why such a strategy for most corporations is not the wisest thing for a CEO to pursue. When looking at strategic positions across the world, there are two different worldviews. In America, the military viewpoint on economics, and in Japan, the collective viewpoint, with EU a mix of both. For America, the main goal is to increase the value of the corporation for the shareholders. For Japan, the main goal is to increase the value of all stakeholders. Shareholders and customers, the environment, the supply chain, employees are all considered. For EU, France follows closely with the American view, while Germany follows more closely to the viewpoint which the Japanese represent. Everyone else is in between. With all that's been said, how would a corporation with a strategy that isn't working start building a strategy that works, according to John Kay? The examples given in the book of successful corporations all have three things in common. The first two are a strong vision and mission. The final and most important part, that the vision and mission is derived from the core capabilities of the corporation itself. To try to build a strategy with a vision and mission that is based off of the hopes and dreams of the CEO without regard for the strengths of the corporation itself and enforce using clever internal marketing or coercion from the CEO would be the common things which failing strategies for failed companies have in common.
In conclusion, in order to have a successful and lasting business, the strategist must know and understand the strengths of the business itself. He or she must ask, where are the sources of innovation? How can the corporation foster this continued innovation, which is the architecture of the organization? All the while, like Muhammad Ali, the business must be agile. It must be able to adjust effectively to constantly changing circumstances. And then, the strategist must ask, how can the organization spread its reputation of strength most effectively for the product and geographic location that it will enter? Using all of this knowledge, the strategy can then be formalized into a vision and mission. Thank you for viewing our presentation, first introduced by Clay, then expanded by Robin, and concluded by myself, Umberto. Our data came from the book Foundations of Corporate Success by John Anderson Kay.
This presentation was done as the first assignment of the University of Houston Spring 2012's Management Information System Admin class. We are Team 1.